All right, call the meeting to order.
Okay, welcome to the Queen Anne's County Commissioners meeting. This is a public meeting that is being aired live on our local cable television station, QACTV 7. These media broadcasts provide county citizens an opportunity to watch and review our scheduled public meetings. In addition to our live audience this evening, we are providing remote options for citizens to watch and participate in county commissioner meetings. Citizens may watch our meeting live on our website at qac.org/live or on our public access governmental television channel provided by Breezeline Cable Services. Citizens may also participate by joining the live Zoom meeting by going to qac.org/public comment. Citizens may also email comments to publiccomment@qac.org. All comments received will be summarized during the press and public comment period on tonight's agenda. We acknowledge everyone's participation, and by attending, you acknowledge that this session is both recorded and aired. Press and public comment will be taken and is limited to 3 minutes per person. If you do care to speak, please sign up at the information table in the lobby, and comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing for the Commissioner's review. We will now stand and be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Commission President Chris Corcorino.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Commissioners, we can move and approve tonight's agenda. So the agenda for tonight's meeting, December 10th, along with the regular session minutes and the closed session minutes from the November 26th meeting, have been circulated for review. Do we have any additions, corrections?
Motion to approve the agenda and minutes as submitted.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, 5-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. So we just held a closed session under the General Provisions Article, Section 3305B1, to discuss personnel and boards and commissions, and also under Section 3305B7 to consult with counsel. So first, we have a few appointments, I believe, to make for boards and commissions. So we have, first we have the Economic Development Commission.
Yeah, I've got, I move to appoint, or I move to approve the reappointment of Laura Wilson, Shelley Gross Wade, Deanna Ewell to the Economic Development Commission for the term of 3 years beginning January 1st, 2025, ending December 31st, 2027. I also move to approve the appointment of Douglas Sibler, Mason Palman, John Andres III, Shauna Payne, and Ken Knight to the Economic Development Commission for a term of 3 years beginning January 1st of 2025 and ending on December 31st, 2027. And I'm sure I butchered those names. I apologize.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, 5-0.
Next one was the Kent Narrows Development Foundation. So we're going to make some reappointments. We're going to reappoint Victoria Hoffman, Justin Kiernan, Kelly Phipps, Joe Pomerantz, and Jake Boulay. And I think they have a couple positions vacant that they're still searching for.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
And the last one, I believe, is our Spending Affordability Committee. And the motion is I move to reappoint Stevie Wilson to the Spending Affordability Committee. This term will begin on January 1st, 2025, and expire on December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, 5-0.
That's all.
You got it.
Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioner Dumino, thank you so much for reading those motions off. Okay, under Consult with Counsel, we presented Resolution 2409. This is an appeal bond in connection with the appeals for the Kent Island Research and Development case in the community of Kentmore involving Kent and Chesapeake Avenue to extend public sewer services to address public health concerns due to failed septic systems. That is an appeal bond. So we have that here for your consideration. Just a motion to execute.
Yeah. I move to adopt Resolution 24-09, authorizing or ratifying indemnity.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. I believe that brings us to press and public comment.
Yep. You wanna? Your spiel?
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, I'll read that. So we appreciate all citizens for taking time to express their views to the county commissioners. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing. This commission respects your desire and right to convey your message freely. When you come forward, please speak clearly at the standing microphone, state your name, your address, and your topic of interest. And in keeping with the dignity of our office, we ask that all views be expressed in a respectful and civil manner.
All right, Bill Faust.
Good evening, Commissioners. First off, I want to say thank you for everything you've done for us in this past year. And second, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Same way with all the Queens County residents. We had a talk a few months ago, and every time we see you guys out in public when we're having something with us and Department of Emergency Service and all, you always have a Department of Emergency Services t-shirt on or collared shirt. So for Christmas, we got you gentlemen something, and I'll have administrative assistant pass them out.
I bet they're red, too.
So this is compliments
But they're
of
not.
They're not? Oh, they're not red?
tie-dye. This is
Ooh,
compliments.
that's the president of
This is compliments of the fire and,
Queens County Fire and EMS Commission.
thank you.
I want to thank you all very much for everything you've done for us, from helping us get spaces at the fair. Yeah, that's a little added extra from me.
Vote for Bill Faust.
Yes, sir. As you all know, I got elected second vice president of Maryland State Firefighters Association.
There you
this
go.
past
That's
year.
worth a round of applause.
But that ain't the big news, because one of the commissioners up here, Mr. Jack Wilson, is getting ready to be president of MACO. And that is a big deal. And congratulations, sir. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
Bob Garrett.
All right. All right.
Good evening. My name is Bob Garrett, and I live on Kent Island. And I apologize for shakes and quivers. I have long-haul symptoms from COVID, and I was just happy to survive it. So the reason I'm here, and I've sent each of the commissioners a copy of this email, as well as the county administrator, is about water quality and the quality of water on Kent Island. This is an example of what we find in our water. And we moved in 2017. January 2017, we found this in our water. And since 2021, I've been working with water and sewer to try and find a source for it. So at this point, I've confirmed that it's in 4 developments at least: Bay Bridge Cove, Four Seasons, Ellendale, and Gibson's Grant. And then just recently I found out it's also in Bay City. So at this point, I've contacted more than a dozen agencies, including departments in Queen Anne's County, agencies at Maryland, state of Maryland, EPA and Environmental Health, and the US EPA. And they asked me to submit a formal complaint for documentation, which I did last month. I do want to mention that working with the Department of Water and Sewer, Alan Quimby and his office have been super responsive to everything we've asked. And it's also, every department I've worked with in Queen Anne's County reached out to, the response has been amazing. It's just, usually it's same day or the next day. So what I'm asking is to help us resolve this problem do some research and find out what can be done about this. But we find this in our faucets, in our toilets, in our sinks, and we're always told when it's tested the water is potable. But if I put this in a glass, no one wants to drink it. So I just wanted to extend my appreciation for appearing in front of you, and hopefully you can help us resolve this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What was your fifth? You said 5. I got Bay Bridge Cove, Allendale, Four Seasons, Gibson Scranton. What was the fifth?
And Bay
Bay
City.
City? Thank you.
We just have one name on this. Tricia? And could you please state your full name? Thank you.
Tricia Kessiker O'Brien. Thank you for hearing me. And I know this has nothing to do with water, but I would like to know when there is a time that we can meet, because I would like to deal with guardianships in the county and in the state for having identity theft, and someone who took guardianship of my identity when I moved from Florida to here, and they were able to get into everything that I have, and that allowed them to perform identity theft. My access to the internet is blocked. My clothes have been stolen, and Timothy Casey O'Brien, whose real name was Timothy Albright, Gwen Albright, and Stacy Kendall, my own sister, they retrieved my identity from Florida. There was no need for a guardianship, and I've been to the court system. I was put in the emergency room by Timothy. They have already sued the emergency room for millions of dollars, and all those funds are going towards Gwen, and it wasn't her in the emergency room. I went to the police. I went to Lance Richardson. I flew to California. I found out that Lance Richardson had taken a bribe from Timothy Albright. He already knew that he had the name of Timothy Albright instead of Timothy O'Brien. I got shamed. I've been to every organization I can think of. I need some help.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Judy Thatcher.
My name is Judy Thatcher. We live at Gorda Creek Drive in Queenstown, and I'm here to voice my opinion on new housing that's going to come up, hopefully off Route 18. I'm all for the new housing because we've lived here quite a long time, but most recently we moved here in 2013 for full-time. We had a part-time house before, and now it's full-time. Anyway, I noticed when we first came here that there was very little housing in the lower price range, and I say under 400,000 at that time. And now there's hardly anything under 500. And when you do find something, it's needs remodeling completely, or seems like it does. So anyway, when I heard about the new housing maybe coming in off 18, it's a great location, and I'm all for it. That's why I'm here.
When you say 18, what project specifically?
What town? What town
Graysonville.
of 18?
Isn't it Graysonville?
Graysonville, yeah.
Yeah, Graysonville.
Oh, Graysonville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, I hope other people are all for the housing. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Desperately needed.
Laura Baker. Okay.
I signed her in because she was going to be coming in.
We'll have additional time later if she does come in. Anybody online? All right, then we'll close press and public comment.
All right, Commissioners. Next, we have legislative items here. The first item is we have a public hearing scheduled for 5:40, so it is past 5:40. This is for the Comprehensive Water and Sewer Plan public hearing for the Barnstable, Lowry Farm, and Aspire at Ewing Farm These are to amend the master water and sewer plan to adjust the service area designation for those two projects. So Mr. Thompson here has the legal ad, and Mr. Quimby here is with him as well for any questions.
All right, this is a public hearing being held Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 5:40 PM in the County Commissioners Meeting Room, Liberty Building, 107 North Liberty Street, Centerville, Maryland. The purpose of the hearing is to consider amending the Queen Anne's County 2011 Comprehensive Water and Sewer Plan. In addition to this hearing, an informational presentation was made at 5:45 on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, also in the Commissioners Meeting Room. Copies of the amendments have been available at the Office of the County Commissioners and could be obtained electronically by sending a request to aquimby@qac.org. All hearing sites are accessible to individuals with disabilities. Sign language interpreters and assistive listening systems are available. Persons who wish to comment on the proposed amendments may do so at the hearing. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each, but written testimony of any length can be submitted before the hearing date to Director of Public Works, 312 Safety Drive, Centerville, Maryland. For the record of the proceeding will be a certificate of publication indicating that notice of the hearing was published for 3 successive weeks in the Bay Times, Record Observer, and newspapers of general circulation of Queen Anne's County. The first proposal that we'll take up and receive comment on is Barn Stable. This property is currently agricultural land consisting of 2 farms located on either side of the 3 improved properties not included in this development proposal, the center one of which has a street address of 2032 Main Street in Chester. The proposed development is shown on map 57 as part of parcel 43. It's a Lowry Farm and part of parcel 68 Dream Farm. Is approximately 13 acres in size, of which a portion immediately adjacent to Main Street is zoned town center, and the other to the rear of the site is zoned countryside. The proposal is to amend the property from S3W3 to S2W2 to accommodate a proposed development consisting of 82 townhomes. Loads on the use are anticipated to be 20,500 gallons per day. Sewer service will be provided via vacuum sewer collection station G. Water service will be provided by the Stephenville Chester Water. 2 people have signed up to speak. First is Tracy Schultz.
How are you all? I'm here as the owner for Dream Farm for part of this property that's being proposed for this development. As you all know, you just approved it through the comprehensive plan update. This is where you want this type of development at. So I think it's appropriate for that location. I'm in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan Content.
I think I signed the wrong sign-up sheet. I was hoping to sign up for Aspire Evening Farm.
All right. Is there any other public comment with relation to Barn Stable, Ryan?
I have one.
So this email comes from Cheryl Helms, and this email was actually directed to both projects that are up tonight. Utilization of water and sewer services on Kent Island, Graysonville, Queenstown. While I certainly don't know the limits of the aquifer we are already pulling from, the amount of such quick growth does not even allow for time to measure impacts. I have the same concerns about sewer access currently, to say nothing about the future. I remain concerned, especially about the hurry-up approach so many large new developments. Of course, Kent Island has many continuing new developments already. Graysonville has Perry's Retreat, Queenstown, the ongoing process for the large development across from the outlets. It would be helpful to post the projected numbers on water usage, sewer usage for the proposed projects. In addition, I remain concerned for our volunteer fire departments and our paid EMTs, and of course, there's always the dreaded traffic. Thank you for listening. Cheryl Helms.
Is there any other public comment with request to the application of Barn Stable?
Bruce, do we know if President Carter? Okay.
Second proposal is Aspire at Ewing Farm. This property is currently predominantly agricultural land located at 5400 Main Street, Graysonville. It is shown on tax map 58I as parcel 40. It is approximately 112 acres in size and is zoned Graysonville planned residential neighborhood. The proposal is to amend the property from S3W3-2W2 to accommodate a proposal consisting of 72 townhomes and 218 single-family lots. Flows from the use are anticipated to be 72,500. Sewer service will be provided via constructed gravity sewer pump station. Water service will be provided by the Graysonville water system. Joe Stevens.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good evening. Happy holidays. Joe Stevens, I represent Kavnanian, who is Aspire, and Aspire is have the Ewing Farm under contract. You know this property well. It's been in the comprehensive water and sewer plan designated for S3W3 4 to 10-year service since 2011. So the request for S2W2 is completely consistent with that, and that request will just then redesignate the property so it can move forward to site plan approval, subdivision approval, APFO approval, and so on. So it's really just one step. I handed out to you just a few pieces of information that Mike Irons will go through, and Barry Griffith, the planner for the project, within their 3 minutes that they'll have this evening. We've met all the requirements of the Master Water and Sewer Plan, Section 516.5.4, sketch plan approval from the Planning Commission in October, and then a recommendation from the Planning Commission to amend the Master Water and Sewer Plan. And they received this, and I know it's a large project. Any project of this size will garner your attention and a lot of staff attention. A great deal of time was spent in reviewing this. But this was received really for a couple of reasons. One is because it complied with all the zoning requirements. It's gone through a detailed zoning review. It's been zoned for planned residential development for a couple of decades now. And secondly, because it's highly consistent with the comprehensive plan in two aspects. One is the locational aspect. Its location is in a growth area. It has been designated as a priority funding area, and is consistent with those provisions. But secondly, and more importantly, what Mike Irons is going to talk to a little bit, is that the overriding aspect, one of the most important components of the county's comprehensive plan, involves providing some affordable housing, some options for affordable housing. This property is not in the critical area. It's not waterfront. It's across the street from a school. It's walking distance and sidewalked down to Graysonville. And the planners, recognizing that and in review of their plan, find that consistent. The allocation availability that Alan Quimby has provided you shows that there is allocation available. The project will have to go through APF approvals, so that's where school gets evaluated, roads get evaluated. We've done preliminary reviews, and it looks like we're going to be able to be in compliance with all those provisions, but that's a separate review. That's not now, and we have to get through it. And they will be paying over $2.5 million just in school impact fees alone. So it's not like there's not going to be a capital contribution for schools coming through. So I ask that you act favorably on this. It's been in the plans and it's been on the books for decades, and it's really a very good location, like I said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Barry Griffith.
Good evening, Commissioners. Barry Griffith. I'm a professional planner with Lane Engineering. Our offices are in Centerville, and I'm a resident of Graysonville. Our firm has been involved in the design of this project now, working on it for a couple of years. I just want to make several points in support of the amendment proposed tonight. Some of this will reiterate a little bit of what Joe said, but as you all are aware, this is an infill property. It's a planning term. We're surrounded by existing residential neighborhoods, both single-family and multifamily, and institutional uses. The school, the Head Start Center, the community center, Ewing Park, all of this, we're a hole in a donut of development around us, and that's where we want new growth to go. As Joe mentioned, the 2022 comprehensive plan recently adopted, ratified that this is a solid part of the Graysonville growth area, and as Joe talked about, it's been that way since the 1990s. So this property has been planned for development for a number of years, has had zoning in support of the development that's being proposed for at least a couple of decades as well. Joe mentioned it is in a priority funding area, and what that means is that this is a property that the state and county have both acknowledged is appropriate for state funding and help with infrastructure. Further in support of the idea of trying to put growth in our communities where growth already exists, where we have infrastructure in place, as opposed to the rural and suburban sprawl land development patterns which the state has deemed not to be efficient and detrimental to preservation of our rural character. The sketch plan that this is all based on was reviewed by the Planning Commission, found to be consistent with the comprehensive plan, and in addition, the plan that we helped design, we know can be compliant with all other county regulatory codes and ordinances related to land use, so the subdivision regulations, zoning regulations, stormwater management regulations, forest conservation. We've done the planning and know we can comply with all of those county standards. And finally, I would just like to reiterate that, as Joe mentioned, affordable housing is a major goal in our comprehensive plan, and we know it's a great need in our county, affordable workforce housing. And you can't have a significant impact on creating more workforce and affordable housing unless you have a few things. You have to have the density, meaning the zoning that provides the density to allow for economies of scale of construction. You have to have sewer and water. You cannot develop these out in the middle of nowhere. And you have to have reasonable infrastructure costs associated to make it financially feasible. So thank you for supporting the amendment.
Lori Walter.
Good evening. My name is Lori Walter. I'm with Lane Engineering and here in Centerville, and I just wanted to make a few points in respect for the Aspire at Ewing Farm. Any good development that's going to survive and do well needs to have an infrastructure around it, and this project has existing water and sewer surrounding it. There's existing water and sewer on Graysonville Cemetery Road. There is existing water and sewer along 18 Main Street, and there's existing sewer on Sawmill Lane. So that's what the development is going to connect to. We have to build a pump station that will provide the gravity sewer for the entire subdivision. The pump station will then be connected to the existing force main in Route 18. The subdivision will also connect to the water line at the intersection of Route 18 and Sawmill Lane, and it will be connected through the entire development and then connect back out onto Graysonville Cemetery Road. There are several improvements that need to be done for the existing sewer that is there, but we have been working with Public Works to work through these changes and developments that need to be taken care of. And the other point I just want to make is that the allocation is available. Right now, there's approximately 71,000 gallons per day in water and sewer allocation available, plus the re-rating of the capacity, there was 100,000 gallons per day. So that means there's 171 gallons per day available for new development, and we just hope that you consider that when you make your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Irons.
Good evening. Mike Irons. I'm the division president for K of Nadian Homes. I'm also a Queen Anne's County resident. As you know, K of Nadian is the builder developer at the Four Seasons community. We think we've had a great partnership with the county as a builder at that community. Created a lot of fiscal benefit for the county, as well as a lot of infrastructure benefit. We built water tower, a brand new water treatment plant, et cetera. So we think we've been a great partner with the county there. And we we think it's a flagship community for the county that we've created, something, a true showcase for the county. But we're excited here to be here again, to have another, and build another great community for the county. This one will be a little different. Four Seasons is our 55-plus brand. Aspire, which is the name of the community, Aspire at Ewing Farm, Aspire is our value-priced brand. It's a brand. The homes are set up for first-time buyers, workforce housing, affordable housing, things like that, Joe and Barry talked about. You know, the designs of the homes, which are in some of the handouts that Joe provided, are simplified, right? So that we can, you know, the designs are efficient, and we can bring to the market a value that provides that affordable product that the county so desperately needs. In the package that we sent, there's some architecture, some proposed architecture. Single-family homes are 1,800 to 2,500 square feet. You know, if we were to come to market today, these would be priced in the mid-400s, which is the lowest priced single-family home, new home in the county today, if we were coming to market today. There's also a rendering of some townhomes, which are smaller, 1,500 square feet. They would be 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. They'd have a garage. If those were to come to market today, they'd be in the mid-300s, which is the lowest priced townhome, new townhome available in the county today. So we're bringing to the market something that the county needs. You know, I'm going to reference the planning staff report, which you have. In their report, they talk about consistency with the plan, comprehensive plan. I'm going to highlight some other key comments from the comprehensive plan that I want to point out. Chapter 1, page 1-2, guiding principle of the comprehensive plan was to address the lack of affordable housing in the county. Page 2, right, it's a guiding principle. Also, in the chapter 9, in the housing section, one of the most critical issues for the county is the dwindling supply of housing that is affordable for lower and moderate incomes. So, in conclusion, I think this is where the county wants growth. It's consistent with the comprehensive plan. It's consistent with the water and sewer plan that was amended in 2011, like Joe said. This is where the county wants growth. It's an ideal spot, and we ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna Holmes.
Doug.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Doug Holmes. I've been a county resident for over 50 years. I've worked in the county in construction for many of those years, owning my own company. I've watched a lot of growth and look forward to the prospect of a community such as Aspire in a neighborhood that my kids could grow up and grow their families in. I noticed there's a lot of properties in the area that are priced out of their range. Things of this nature would be in the window that they could afford so that we can continue to grow the county and the great people of it. Thank you for your time today.
Mitchell Andrew.
Good evening, and my name is Mitchell Andrew, Queen Anne's County resident, and I want to thank the commissioners for all your time that you have to spend making the big decisions for our county, including decisions like tonight. I'm a member of the Ewing family, and so I wanted to take a moment. You've already heard a lot of information from the people at K. Hovnanian and representing K. Hovnanian, but I want to tell you that from my experiences in the last 7-8 years, we, the family, have been approached by 8-10 different developers, local developers, regional developers, and national developers. Had spent countless time meeting with these people, reviewing what they had to propose to us, and without a doubt, about 2 years ago, K. Hovnanian came to us, and their plan was the first plan that we saw that really we thought fit Graysonville. The the farm that our family owns in Graysonville. And our family's owned that farm since 1946. And the family members have dwindled that are members of the corporation that my grandparents put together in 1982. And so we've been holding this farm a long time, and it's been in ag use this whole time. But, you know, it's time that we look at the situation of where the location of the farm is, where it meets the needs of the county. And I think that their plans, and as you look through their packet and the information and go through the decision-making process, you'll see that they're on point with this development as a match for the location where it is proposed to be on the Ewing Farm in Graysonville. So once again, I want to thank you for your time. Merry Christmas, and we appreciate your looking at all these things for us in the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitchell. Dylan Allen.
My name is Dylan Allen. I'm here to support the Aspire at Ewing Farm project. With that, I've been in Queen Anne's County my entire life. I've unfortunately seen multiple of my friends be forced to leave the county for the lack of affordable housing. I've been stuck in a rental for the past 3 years. I think if this project was, built a couple years ago, I definitely would be interested in purchasing one of the homes. One thing, too, I think everybody in this room can agree with is we want to keep people in Kent Island or Queen Anne's County as a whole in Queen Anne's County or on Kent Island. I think if we have a community of this magnitude, something like this, it will definitely keep everybody here and not force people to move to different counties where they can actually afford to live. So other than that, I think that's about it, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to consider this. Thank you.
Mark Angeles.
Good evening. My name is Mark Angeles. I live in Graysonville. My wife and I live there with our 2 kids who are very close to, well, I have my son that just graduated college and my daughter that's graduating this year. My daughter actually recently accepted a job in Queen Anne's County, and she's going to be graduating in May and coming home. And, it's been evident that, as she starts her career, to live here, there's not a lot of options for affordable housing for young people who are starting their careers and starting their families. My wife and I, we love it here, and we'd like to keep our kids close as well. So it's exciting to see them start their careers, and I wanted to come here and state my support for Aspire Ewing Farm because I believe it meets the county's growth requirements. The community has minimal impact as to the infrastructure as far as roads and being walking distance within the school. I think it's an excellent place for workforce housing and for young people, first-time buyers, that are starting families. I think it's an excellent community, and I think it meets the needs of affordable housing, especially new housing, that this county lacks right now. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Daniel King.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Daniel King, and I'm here tonight to show my support for the development of Ewing Farm. I'm a lifelong resident of Queen Anne's County. I was born here, I went to school here, and now I have a full-time job working here within the county. And more recently, I just started looking for a house to buy. I would like to stay within the county, so that way I'm close to my family. Everyone, my family and all lives here, so I would like to stay here. But recent surge in housing prices, it's just hard to find affordable housing here in the county. And so that's the main reason why I would like to see this project come to fruition, so that we can create more affordable housing in the county. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Wheeler Baker.
Good evening, Commissioners.
I'll start off with Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Just a little bit of history to give you an idea. First house I bought was about $9,000, so you know I'm getting old when you're talking about all that money. But just a brief history of what they're trying to do there. Like Mitch said, years ago, Mr. Tommy set up the farm, which he bought right after World War II. And his brother ran the farm, dairy and grains and things like that. Well, fast forward a few years, my father-in-law was gone, mother-in-law was gone, right on down the line. It was, the grandchildren were in the will also, and one of them was gone. And we had a meeting about 3 years ago, and they said, we have no choice, we'd like to sell it. So like Mitch said, we went on a search, and we honed in on Hovnanian. We've been working with them. The main thing they have the expertise and the background in this infrastructure. And when it gets done, this will be a project that fulfills the needs of the county the way I have sat in your chairs, something I would like to see. They have the means to put all this together, and I think it would be a real asset. When you go back, the history of the farm, Chester Y Center, my father-in-law gave land for Chester Y Center. You all know what we do there. He gave, I didn't get, but he sold the property to the county for the elementary school. Then my mother-in-law sold the property at Ewing Pond to the county. So that's just a little bit of history, what's going on over the years. And I could talk to you for an hour, I suppose, but I'm not going to. But you all have a nice holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Wheeler. And also, Wheeler, thank you for all of your service to the county over the years. We appreciate it.
Barbara Whaley.
Barbara Whaley. Live in the I live in Eastern Shore now for most of my life, but not all of it. But I'm here to say that I'm very proud of what has been done with the Ewing Farm. And I go back far enough to know that the Ewings have always been very proud of what they have accomplished over a period of time and years in the county. They've been very particular about how they did things and what was done and things that they backed and promoted. This particular piece of property, Miss Mary had always thought the school would be on it, but fortunately or unfortunately, it went across the street, but still they were part of it. I've worked with this for a good while, and having worked with the family we finally found a project or a company that was compatible to work with the property and do what they would like to have done. So we've got a first-class developer that is now working, and they've done a good job here in this county as well as other areas, so we're very pleased to have the developer that's going to be here, and we're looking forward to you all promoting. I haven't heard a nay yet of all of those who have gotten up and spoken. Everybody's been for it, so we hope that you all will feel the same way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Lolita Watkins.
Good evening, Commissioners. Happy holidays to you. My name is Lolita Justice Watkins. I am a Queen Anne County resident for the last 15 years, and I fully support the new proposed Aspire at Ewing Farm project that's happening in Graysonville. My husband and I also have a small business that's been here for the last 13 years. This county is definitely where we live, where we work, and where we play. With that being said, we are always excited to see new growth and economic stability here in the county, as well as quality housing with a more affordable price tag, such as the Aspire at Ewing Farm. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew Barrasso.
Matthew Barrasso. I'm here to show my support for the new Aspire community that is going up. I've lived in Queen Anne's County for the last 20 years. I also work in Queen Anne's County. For the last few years, I've been looking to buy a new house, but with the houses in Queen Anne's County, it is not affordable, especially for somebody like me. So I noticed that the housing market for that community is within my price range, and it's newer, so not an old fixer-upper as well. So that is why I'm showing my support for that community, and I also had to expand my search to Caroline County, different counties, because of the affordability there. So if this was available right now, that is something where I would be definitely searching for, and that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Roger Weiss. Judy Thatcher.
She spoke already.
She spoke.
Oh, I'm good. Gary Thatcher.
My name is Gary Thatcher. I've been a resident over here in the Eastern Shore for about 20 years, and I am in support of the subdivision to be built. The Kehamanian has done a great job in everything they've done. They bring value and they bring quality and they bring community, everything they do, and I am looking forward to seeing this subdivision built.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's everyone who signed up. Is there anyone else who has any public comment with request to this?
I think we had the gentleman on the last list. Yep, come on up. He's the one that's on the wrong list, but gotcha.
My name is Jonathan Content. I work with Kehamanian as an entitlements manager. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all tonight. I think a lot of the comments that I would have stated previously have already been covered either by the team or by the other residents who were here to support the project. But I just wanted to kind of wrap it up and point out that, you know, we're doing what the county's asked for in their comp plan. They've looked at affordable housing for the last several decades and identified it as something that they need to bring to the county. In the housing prices, you could see in the comp plan again that the median housing prices here are significantly higher than the rest of the state and higher than the country as a whole. And rents have also been increasing. The only way that we can help with that is to, one, build more affordable housing, which is what our Aspire brand is all about, and two, increase the housing inventory. So by directing this kind of medium density housing development to the growth zone, to the priority funding areas, putting it across from a school, near a park, quick access to highways, we are putting exactly what this county needs and exactly where it needs to be. And the only other thing that I wanted to add to that is that at the prior hearing that we had, the Eastern Shore Land Conservancy actually came and gave a recommendation. I won't read the whole thing, but I'll highlight developments like this are essential for the Eastern Shore, which, like the rest of the state, faces a housing shortage. ESLC supports development in the growth areas such as Graysonville. So with that, I just ask that you would support our project and help us to move forward with another great project in Queen Anne's County. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Yes, sir.
My name is Ward Griffith. My wife and I moved to Marling Farm 16 years ago. And for that entire 16 years, we've been told sewer is coming. And what we've seen is new developments. By the way, I'm pro-growth. I'm not anti-growth. I'm just pro-sewage down Marling Farms, down Dominion Drive. We've heard that the Waterford, the quality of the water has diminished because of all of the septic there. I've spent the first 60 years of my life in Montgomery County, and while I know people around here, developers, et cetera, Montgomery County, they were real good at getting infrastructure paid for by the developers as they built things. So we've seen all this development over the last 16 years that got city water and sewer, and we're still waiting. I just want to get on the list for sewage.
Right. Any other public comment? Yes.
Hello, my name is Laura Baker, and I have been a resident of Queen Anne's County for over 50 years. And I have noticed also that the housing, it costs $400,000 to $500,000 to buy a home. And I have read everything about the Inspire, and I am here to give my support for it, and I think it's a valuable need in our community. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Christmas. All right. Last time. Any other public comment?
We actually have to have you come to the mic because it's recorded. And state your name again, please.
Tricia Kessinger O'Brien. And Christmas is a wonderful time, but having identity theft happen within this county and the state, going from one state to another, with all of the homes that are going up, whether it be the new home developments or even the older homes, be careful, because the mortgage that I had, someone, when they took my identity, they remortgaged it 4 times over in 4 different states. And I did come to the commissioners, and I did come to my government that was local, and I did say something about it, and nothing was done. It was done through Rocket Mortgage by these people. And then it was also done again through a company out of California. So if you do not have your identity locked down, whether it's your Wi-Fi, your landline, whatever, be careful, because jumping on those lines of communication with Walkie coming up, with Breezeline, with Verizon, it can be stolen quickly. Thanks.
All right. Any other public comment?
All right, Commissioners, we had 6 emails come in. All of them are for the proposed project. Would you like me to, they're all pretty similar. Do you want me to read all 6 or read one, summarize?
If they're all similar, then
They are, yeah.
summarize it.
Okay, sure thing. So I'll read this first one, and they all pretty much echo the same sentiments. This comes from Tom Holst. I understand that the national home builder, KHOVE, is planning to build a new community in Graysonville, Maryland. As a longtime Queen Anne's County resident, I want to share my thoughts on this. Well over 20 plus years ago, I didn't feel comfortable with the national home builder building a large community on Kent Island. So I was one of many who protested against the builder in hopes of stopping the builder from being approved to build. Then time went by, and I saw how this builder worked through every barrier that was put in front of them, and with a never-ending goal of building the Four Seasons community. While witnessing the lengthy approval process, I began to realize that this builder was resilient in its efforts to begin construction. KHOVE was determined to show those of us that didn't believe in them that they could do what they said and they could do. The Queen Anne's County Commissioners at the time even had the builder put into a written agreement, a DRRA, that they would complete a lengthy list of commitments tied to the construction process and numbers of homes settled. As a local resident, I took the giant step and decided to become one of the first home buyers in the Four Seasons community in late 2018. My home was built, and I moved in right on schedule. As a now longtime Four Seasons resident, I have also experienced by seeing firsthand how the KHOVE organization has been steadfast and in some cases ahead of schedule in completing their commitments to Queen Anne's County agreements. In the past 6 years, I witnessed a new water tower get built, major road construction improvements, a beautiful rest area along Queen Anne's County Cross Island Trail, and an entire water treatment facility built from scratch. I've been nothing but impressed with the KHOVE company's continued commitment to building a quality community and completing their commitments to Queen Anne's County and all residents of our county. As a happy Four Seasons resident and a longtime Queen Anne's County resident, I would be in complete approval of the KHOVE builder building a new community in nearby Graysonville. Thank you, Tom Holtz. Our other emails came from Matt Steves, from Jay Johns, from Jason Smith, and Roy Smoot Jr., and Robert Hannon. And those other 5 emails, a lot of them really express the desire for affordable housing, a little bit more than that first email, but that's the only difference in the emails.
Right. Thank you, Bruce.
Is that everybody? Anybody have any questions while we're here?
I got a question. Joe, I don't know if you or Mike want to take this. We've heard a lot of testimony tonight, and over again, the resounding sentiment was affordable housing. And I know when Mike came up, he said those single-family homes, if they were built today, would be $450,000. You're figuring in 18 months to 2 years possibly before you have any product ready, if everything went on good. So I'm trying to get a feel for what, everyone says affordable housing. What is affordable housing? Is it a number? Is it a percentage? Of what the existing homes here now are? I mean, because if I see 4 young men come up here and say, I'd love to buy a house, and by the time the houses come around and they're $550,000 to $600,000, is that going to be a problem? And I'm just trying to, I want people's expectations. We use that word loosely, affordable housing, and then lo and behold, it becomes a problem.
Right, it becomes a higher price. I'll let Mike address that. I mean, because we've been talking about that in terms of
because you're 100% correct. Our comp plan does call for it, and you check off all the boxes, but, I'm concerned about the affordable housing portion of it.
Yeah, no, I think, it starts with the brand and our designs. As I mentioned, and as you see in that package, these are very efficient homes to build. There's not a lot of bells and whistles. It's efficient construction. We call it box over box in the industry. So it's very efficient from a foundation standpoint. So that helps keep our costs down. We're going to continue to, as we go through the approval process, that's what we're going to build. Exactly what the cost will be by the time we go through the, we got a preliminary plan, we got a bunch of steps to go through, then ultimately final plan, that could be 18 months, 2 years, I don't know exactly. We're willing to move as fast as the county will, right? As we get through that, then we have to do site work and then actually build the homes. But it's all a function of our costs. We can keep our costs down by building these affordable houses, efficient homes, keeping our infrastructure costs down, doing reasonable mitigation. We can come to the market at a very affordable price. As I'm saying, if we were coming to the market today, I can't say exactly what our cost will be 2 or 3 years from now, but our plan is to come to the market with that's what our brand is all about. It's Aspire. It's for a first-time buyer. It's for affordable. It's to bring something to the market that is value priced.
Right. I just want the public to understand that what we say today isn't necessarily what's going to actually have transpire in 2 years from now.
Yeah.
So. That's
in addition, Joe reminded me, of course, we'll need to comply with the MPDU requirement,
Right.
which is 10%. And, we're open either way, whether we build them on site or do a fee in lieu. We started some discussions with planning, and we'll continue to work through that. We're going to comply. I think we heard you guys earlier that the preference to build and actually do it. But unfortunately, right now, the county doesn't have a process or a plan on how to administer them. So, but we'll continue to, work with the staff as we go through that, but we'll fully comply with the requirement.
Thank you.
So I have a question, either maybe it's Alan or Todd that can answer this, because I had some people approach me about, with both of these developments, the amount of units that they're proposing to do. Is if that is an issue that the commissioners want to take up, is it at this stage or is it at another stage where we would have a negotiation about how much allocation they would get?
I would think that you need to have a comfort level at this stage that you have capacity. I think it would be a mistake for you to approve the amendment if you don't feel you have the capacity.
If we wanted to reduce, though, would that be, when they come for later, they would come for, this is just to move them from S3, W3 to S2, W2.
Correct.
They have to then come back to get allocation?
Correct.
And at that point, now or then, you could have a discussion of that, right?
Yes, certainly. But I certainly wouldn't go all or nothing. If you're going to do all or nothing, now's the time to say no.
Gotcha. Just so there's more for people to understand the different steps that are involved, times they can speak, okay?
And as typically as plans refine, units tend to go down anyways by nature.
Anybody else have any questions?
Gentleman in the second row, would you be kind enough to put the Eastern Shore Lands Conservancy letter in public record with Stephanie?
It is there.
Okay.
It was a posting from their website.
Thank you.
All right. Close that. We'll have, the vote would be, we don't have another meeting in December, so the vote will be in January.
And that's on both applications?
Yes.
They hold the record
Hold
over.
the record.
Excuse me? Well, we are. So they reached out to me and I got with Todd.
Want to take 5?
I can't remember what his last name was.
Want to take 5?
You want 5?
Yes.
I can't
Take
remember
5?
his
Yeah.
last name.
Bruce, we're gonna take a 5-minute break.
We're
Okay.
live. All right, Commissioners, we're back on. So,
On camera.
ready for, we have one presentation this evening, Commissioners, and that is from our Director of Budget and Finance, Mr. Jeff Rank. He's going to give an overview of the proposed 2025 outside agency grant program cycle and some highlights of and key achievements from prior years. So, in your book, it's on tab number 6, item 1, and Jeffrey also has a presentation up here on the screen as well. All right, Jeffrey.
Good evening, Commissioners. Wanted to give you a quick overview of the county's outside agency grant program, this year's disbursements, and some items we'd like to implement in the upcoming year to improve the program. During the past budget cycle, we've implemented several changes in the administration of the grant program. We've worked with a third-party partner and aimed to professionalize the grant-making process, improve transparency, and ensure equitable allocation of taxpayer funds to deserving organizations. A series of reforms and adjustments were implemented to enhance the program's functionality, address some challenges, and lay the groundwork for a more streamlined and equitable process in future cycles. First, some quick program highlights from the current year. This year, the Commissioners have awarded $673,159 in grant funding to benefit local businesses and residents. A total of 48 grants were awarded, representing all regions in the county. As the slide shows, these investments provided one-to-one advocacy services for children placed in foster care due to maltreatment, helped to provide free home modifications to low-income homeowners, expanded and enhanced access to the arts, repaired community buildings so that residents could receive needed services and supports, and helped to bring essential items to individuals in need. We've categorized the awards into 5 key focus areas: community development, children and youth, education, arts and culture, and veteran support. In the community development category, investments totaling $324,000 supported projects that strengthened vulnerable populations, repaired community facilities, enhanced emergency services, and bolstered local businesses. Examples include providing vital equipment to emergency responders and facilitating renovations to improve service accessibility. In the children and youth category, $147,000 was dedicated to program and enabled mentorship opportunities, advocacy services for vulnerable children, and programs designed to help youth become contributing members of the community. In education, an allocation of $81,000 funded educational initiatives, including alternative education for children, learning opportunities for older adults, and innovative programs that bridged educational gaps. In arts and culture, a total of $69,000 supported projects that preserved Queen Anne's County's rich cultural heritage and enhanced access to the arts. Finally, $50,000 was dedicated to initiatives that address the needs of veterans, military members, and their families, providing essential support and resources. For the upcoming year, we are proposing a codification or implementation of several policies and procedures to increase program accountability and transparency. These procedures include an application process, which include broad publication and outreach to maximize program awareness within the community, continuing with the application process, prohibiting awards greater than requests, a process to identify potential conflicts of interest, and a requirement to spend funds within the allotted grant year with option to extend upon request, and requiring the return of unused funds greater than $50. Implementing reporting requirements to include financial documentation to ensure proper use of funds pursuant to their request and commissioner's intention. Enhanced evaluation criteria to assist in the selection of grants to ensure alignment with county priorities. And targeted outreach to encourage participation from a wide breadth of community organizations. Finally, we will be producing an annual impact report which will detail the grantees and the projects that have implemented with these grant funds over the prior year. The first such report is included in your packets this evening. Generally speaking, our staff received positive comments regarding the changes implemented this past year, and we are hopeful the reporting requirements and efforts to improve transparency will bring more attention to all of the great efforts these organizations are doing on behalf of the county citizens. That is it. If you have any questions, I will entertain them.
The outreach and equity, number 7 there, that conduct targeted outreach to encourage participation from underrepresented organizations in the community. How are we going to do that targeted outreach? I mean, do we have folks, a list of folks in mind already that has been advised?
Yeah, we can obtain lists of local nonprofits. We plan to use best services with social media, posting on the website.
Okay.
In the past, we typically emailed prior year participants, but this year we plan to really put it out there.
Good.
So one of the things that I think we should look at for the outside agency grants is there are a few that apply every year that we're going to give money to every year, right? Like the chamber has the money for its book, right? I don't think that we're ever not going to agree to that, and this is sort of similar to what we did with the KDF a while back. I think that should just be in the budget as a line item. So I think we should look through, maybe get a list of what are the ones that over the last 5-6 years consistently get money, and then let's make a decision early on if they're just going to be a line item, and then we can reduce the amount maybe that's in the outside agency grant program by that amount. But I think that sort of doing that little dance where we know they're going to get it and that they have consistently shown that they're a benefit, I think that's good. Because I sort of view the outside agency grant program as, a lot of times these are organizations that are doing something that if the county had to do it, it would probably cost us a lot more money. Saving future federal cats, for example, right? Like tremendous service community. If we were out doing that work, it would cost us a lot more. I want to be able to free it up for those types of grants that we're doing, and some of the ones will fold in. That's just my thought.
So, which I think is a good idea. How do we say how many we're going to do? We're going to do 10, we're going to do 15 that meet that, or?
I think, well, let's first see what the list is
Okay.
of which ones are
Jeff, you
consistently getting it, and then we'll make a call about.
You can put that together for us, right? A historical.
The history, yeah, for the
organization.
last 5-6 years, yeah.
Maybe the top, go back, how many years? 5?
We've only been doing it for 6, so.
So go back those 6 years and use that as a guide as to what we'll consider as a permanent line item.
Right, doesn't mean that just because they've been getting it that they're going to become a line item, but there are some that I think we would agree.
Sure.
Yeah, that's always going to be there.
And I think that chamber is a great example of that.
Good example. Well, the Social Services Board, we give them 10,000 every year, and it goes to families.
And the veterans too.
Veterans, that's right.
Yeah, there's a few we already have, such as Chester Y, VAMSA, Judy Center. We do have several organizations. We do have a blocked out amount every year.
And those ones they rely on this, so they're always going to get it. We should just fold it in that way. Okay, cool. Any other questions?
Yep, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, Commissioners, we can move into our action items for this evening. First, we have the Department of Public Works. They have 3 items, so if you want to turn to, what is that, tab number 2, Public Works, item 1, pages 1 and 2. First up, we have the mosquito control user fee. Request to increase the program user fees for the mosquito control program for the citizens of Queen Anne's County. We primarily are funded from user fees for this program, along with the Maryland Department of Agricultural grants. And there is a schedule in your binder. They are requesting a modest increase of about $5 increase for various tiers of the number of homes that are sprayed through the program to meet the costs for materials next year. So this would be effective in next spring.
I have a question that Alan may or may not be able to answer. But I know that in the years where we have heavy rains and you've got a lot of standing water everywhere, you have more issues. I mean, scientifically, you could say that we would have more mosquito larvae, growing and hatching and becoming, pesky mosquitoes than in the years where we have less rainfall. I guess there's no way to quantify or determine what amount should be funded for the program based on, is that a big ask? You know where I'm going? That's it. I was kind of hoping you could say yes, because I wasn't sure either.
Well, it's a user fee, Phil, so it's going to be driven by the usage. So if it's an off year, it's just going to be less usage.
Okay.
Yeah, this program kills the adult mosquitoes. There also is a larvicide component that kills the larva. so.
In our stormwater management systems.
No, it's part of the mosquito control. It's like two aspects, but you don't go out and spray for the larvicide.
Okay. Thank you.
I move to accept the increase in mosquito control user fees as proposed.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
Thank you for understanding what I was getting at.
I know, yeah, I know.
Thank you, Commissioners. Item number 2 on pages 3 through 10. This is a Maryland Department of Agriculture grant agreement that the Kent Island Community Garden pursued and received. However, we have to be the applicant because it is on our property. This is a project we recently provided for them for their community garden down next to the elementary school on Kent Island. So
I move to execute the grant agreement with the Maryland Department of Agriculture as a landowner on behalf of the Kent Island Community Garden Incorporated to secure grant funds allowed for the installation of an irrigation meter.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. The next item we have to convene as the Sanitary Commission.
Motion to convene as sanitary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item 3 is a Public Works agreements for the Bay Bridge Marina. There's 2, one for the duplexes and the hotel. This project did receive sewer and water allocation to redevelop the existing mixed-use marina to accommodate 14 residential duplexes, 28 units, and a 32-room hotel. So these have been reviewed by the county attorney and are ready for your consideration and execution.
I move to execute 2 public works agreements with Bay Bridge Marina LLP and allow them to construct 14 residential duplex units or 28 dwellings and a 32-room hotel.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Quimby. All right, Commissioners, we can move into the regular action items from the departments. This would be tab number 3. So turning to tab number 3, item 1 on page 1. First up is the character count spotlight for December 2024. And this character count spotlight is highlighting Miss Dina Zador, who has been an employee of McDonald's in Chester for over 40 years.
Jim's got it open.
Do what now?
You got it open. You can read it.
Character counts?
That's how it works. When the president says it, you do it.
Wow.
Damn.
He's going to remember that. Just
Okay, Queen Anne's County Commissioners Character Counts Spotlight for December 2024. The Character Counts pillar celebrated in December is caring. This pillar is rooted in kindness, gratitude, and compassion.
Which Chris has.
Okay, all right.
I have gratitude for you reading it.
Our honoree this month is Dina Zader, a local resident whose caring has helped create wonderful childhood memories for many local children and adults. Ms. Dina was nominated by several adults who remember the wonderful birthday parties she would help throw at the McDonald's in Chester. One wrote, Ms. Dina has been a staple in our community and every young adult's life over the decades. Everyone in my generation, I'm 33, yeah, I get to say that, I'm 33, has a vivid memory of how amazing she made birthday parties at McDonald's. Another submission stated Ms. Dina has been working at McDonald's in Chester for over 40 years, and everyone remembers how she went out of the way to make your birthday party special. She always has a welcoming smile when she greets you. Going out of your way to put a smile on someone else's face is a special character trait. Ms. Dina has been doing that for decades and has left a lasting impact on all those who have had the pleasure of interacting with her. NFL Hall of Famer Ray Lewis once said, character and integrity and really making an impact on someone's life, that's the ultimate vision, that's the ultimate goal, bottom line. Ms. Dina has made a lasting impact, and we are honored to recognize her tonight. If you know of any other worthy businesses, nonprofits, or individuals in the county who have made an impact by exemplifying one or all of the 6 pillars of character, nominate them for a future spotlight recognition by visiting the Queen Anne's County Character Counts website, www.peopleofcharacter.org. Thanks, Phil. Moving on.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Moran, for reading that.
Hubba,
Well
hubba.
done. Okay, moving on. Item 2 on pages 2 through 19. This is a Ferry Point habitat enhancement. This is a project redesign and an extension of an existing capital grant we got through DNR in the amount of $25,750. Due to some delays in permitting, we had to request this extension. The DNR has agreed to additional time through June 30th, 2025, and has modified the scope and the work to better reflect the priorities and comments received for the project. And the bottom line is the project will result in a regrading of a vulnerable 200-foot stretch of stream bank to withstand storm surge in the Kent Narrows.
I move to authorize the Director of Parks and Recreation to execute the Coastal Resiliency Program Capital Project Grant Agreement Extension Number 2 with DNR for $25,750.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I vote.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 3 on pages 20 through 22. This is a support letter for the Oyster Recovery Partnership, seeking support for their FY 2026 DNR Chesapeake and Coastal Grants Gateway funding to advance sound restoration and actions that will accelerate the recovery of shallow water habitats and natural resources in Queen Anne's County while addressing Chesapeake Bay non-point source pollution reduction goals.
I move to execute the letter of support for the Oyster Recovery Partnership seeking FY 2026 Department of Natural Resources Chesapeake and Coastal Grants Gateway funding.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. I will note that Commissioner Moran has spent a number of hours at meetings and conferences, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate this initiative going forward for the oyster recovery. Moving on, item number 4 on pages 23, 24, and 25 is the approval, seeking your approval for the National Association of Counties 2025 membership dues in the amount of $997.
I move to approve the National Association of Counties 2025 membership dues in the amount of $997.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
3,000 counties. It's 3,000 counties, so it adds up.
Yeah.
How many counties?
3,000.
3,000.
In the country.
I'm going to vote yes when you call for it, but I do have a question. They talk about federal initiatives that affect our county. Maybe we should get them in here and be more specific other than just federal initiatives for our county. Like, could you be more specific?
You really don't.
Like, what do you do?
Michael's on the board, right?
So Michael's actually he's up the ladder over there now. He's in the executive queue.
So Michael Sanderson could probably.
He could fill us
So
in.
I can ask him this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think getting someone from NACO to come in, they're not going to.
They're not.
We received a summary.
They can.
Not even on a Zoom?
I mean, they can send it. They don't have to come
What do
in
you
on
want?
Zoom.
I mean, what do you want to know?
Yeah, we did get a summary. It wasn't ready for the book. They didn't include it with the dues notice, but I did get that, I think just came today or last night, so
Okay.
we can get that
So
summary.
if we have that
Yeah.
already, if you could just
Yeah.
make it available to us.
We will make that
You
available.
talk about federal initiatives, but
No, that's a good point.
be
What's
specific.
taxes? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that. It's taxes, it's
Okay.
infrastructure,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
But I want to see, that's all. Because
Sure.
if we're going to become members again for just under $1,000, which is not a lot of money, somebody says, Phil, what's NACO do? I mean, what does NACO do for us? Well, I can go boom, 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 boom.
But we really should send a representative there at least once, too.
Well, they have, I think there's one coming up in Philadelphia, right?
It's here in the back.
Next
I think
year?
so, yeah.
It's
Next
here
year
in
in
the back.
Philly.
I think
The other
that
night.
a lot of the Maryland
DC
counties are
was-
planning to have.
Representatives there because of close proximity.
Right.
What MACO's looking to do is take a large contingent
On a bus.
up for NACO in Philly. Yeah,
Good.
that's in the works.
Good.
It's like February, I think.
Yeah. It's after that. I don't know. But anyway.
I think, if NACO wants to, put a trip like that together and take, a representation from the different counties here in Maryland,
I'm not sure when it is.
rural and
It's usually in the summer.
agricultural and representatives, I think that's a great idea.
Well, I think they want to get like all 24 jurisdictions,
Yeah,
send
yeah.
as many people as they want.
As it gets closer, we'll get the information from Michael on that, but he had mentioned it.
Good.
It was in the
That's all
Zoom
I
meeting
ask.
we
You
had.
can call for your vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 5 on pages 26 through 28 is we've been approached by the Maryland Realtors Alliance concerning high theft rates plaguing major retailers across the state. This is organized theft crimes, and they are seeking our support in addressing this growing problem with renewed state legislation. And we've seen this occur in the Queenstown outlets, at some of our lumber yards where folks come in, bogus credit cards, groups of people coming in, do the mass grab, run out of the stores. I talked to the sheriff and the state's attorney, and they strongly support this initiative going forward. So this would be a request to have Queen Anne's County President sign on their letter and represent our support at the General Assembly next month.
I move to support the 2025 legislative initiatives as outlined by the Maryland Retailers Alliance to address organized retail theft in Maryland.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 4 in favor and 1 absent.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item number 6 on pages 29 and 30. This is a letter to Governor Moore outlining our 2 major county budget priorities for FY 2026. The first would be to accelerate state funding for the Midshore Regional Detention Center serving Queen Anne's, Caroline, and Kent counties. Secondly, would be support the Eastern Shore Youth Crisis Center renovations and expansion of the A.F. Witsit Center serving Cecil, Kent, Caroline, Queen Anne's, Talbot, and Dorchester counties.
There was an informational item, right?
No, that's a letter to the governor for
Motion to execute it.
motion
Okay.
to execute
I
that
don't-
letter.
you have that
And
motion?
these are both supported by our state delegation as well as far as priorities in there.
I move to execute the letter to Governor Moore, county budget priorities fiscal year 2026.
Thank you, Jack.
Second. Discussion?
Yeah, so I think we're missing the boat on this. The reason I say that is, this is a great opportunity to tell the governor that we want to be fully restored the money that we're due in Kerwin. Why are we not looking at that as a $2 million deficit?
We can add that.
As a priority, and we'll be the only county in the state asking for it via this avenue, but I just think, what better time to ask for it, right?
Want to make a motion to amend it?
I mean, if you guys are amicable
Sure.
to it.
You mean including these 2 items?
Yeah, but I'm saying we should go further and ask, we already know we're at a $1.9 million deficit of what Kerwin said we were originally going to get. Why shouldn't we ask for it? We're not going to get it, but we can still ask for it, and I think.
I like the idea.
brings up the-
We may not get any of this, but I don't disagree. We should add that to the list. That's
It's
probably.
low-hanging fruit, right?
Yeah.
Wrote it, so.
Right.
So I'll amend it to add the request for the additional money shown in the Kerwin plan from the state.
Second.
Anything for helicopter?
I think the helicopter would be a push.
That's another.
I was just going to say.
Maybe next year.
Another time. Okay.
Another time.
Gotcha. Not the right time.
We'll
Gotcha.
get Beth to work on a
All right.
GoFundMe page for
We
it.
got a motion and a second on the motion to amend. All in favor?
Aye.
And then on the actual motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0, 5-0.
As amended, yes.
Good idea.
As amended.
Good idea.
Very good. Very good addition. Thank you.
We'll get you a GoFundMe.
Yeah, that's right. Item number 7 on pages 31 through 33 is a letter requesting federal assistance for the continuing Bay Bridge traffic congestion on Long Route 50. And this would be sent to the Federal Secretary of Highways, requesting a means to legally limit, provide access for local government, local citizens on our
Side roads
on our
only,
side
yeah.
roads, state highways. So this would be to the new Federal Transportation Secretary when he is, he or she is confirmed.
We would
Wouldn't that
send
would
this
solve
out
all
in
our
January
problems.
then? Is that what we're thinking?
Solve all our problems.
Yes, that would be,
Probably makes sense.
probably makes sense, once the new
Current one's
individual is
going out, so
confirmed.
wait for the new guy.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion?
I move to execute the letter to the Federal Secretary of Transportation for the Route 50 Bay Bridge traffic congestion request for federal assistance.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Well done.
All right, 5-0.
5-0. All right. Thank you, Commissioners. Item number 8 on pages 34 through 38. This is the clean, excuse me.
Could we send a copy of this to Congressman Harris's office asking for intervention on his behalf for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Wait, this is,
The one we just voted on. the transportation secretary.
But
That was
okay.
to CC Congressman Harris.
Okay.
After January 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
All right, Clean Chesapeake.
This is a shortened version of the resolution that was approved a couple of weeks ago for Resolution 2408, and this continues to outline the need to support a comprehensive management plan to address sediment loadings in the upper Chesapeake Bay. We felt this was a shorter resolution that may be more palatable for some of our partner counties to sign on to and to pursue action to initiate dredging operations at Conowingo Dam.
This is the shorter one.
Just a shorter version, similar to the one we executed 2 weeks ago.
Got a motion?
I move to adopt the revised Clean Chesapeake Resolution 2408.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. And lastly, we have a Board of Education budget amendment transfer between major state categories. These adjustments are largely a result of the implementation of the furlough days and additional needs they've identified in their current budget.
I move to approve the Board of Education transfer between major state categories.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Anybody have any questions on this?
So they're taking from Peter's pot because they didn't use it all, and
It's to reallocate. Most of it is, they gave us a pretty detailed letter on it, but most of it is to allocate for those furlough days to make up for their budget gap.
Yeah, it's no new county funding, it's just they're just moving between categories, which requires Commissioner approval.
Any other questions?
Where was the savings at that they were able to do that? That they're not going to come up short in those categories?
The furloughs.
So they're moving the furlough money over to?
the license agreements?
A whole bunch of, it's going to administration, mid-level administration, instructional salaries, supplies, other costs. Health services, student personnel, special education, and transportation are all.
And probably unfunded mandates by now.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 5-0.
Had to know we were going to make this easy for you. Not on your first night back.
All right, Commissioners, that is all the action items I had for you this evening. You can go to press and public comment.
Anything? All right. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Go.
I had the opportunity, once again, to assist our Queen Anne's County Watermen's Association volunteers to put together the crab basketry. And it was a cold morning. But it was a good thing that they've done it so many times that they actually have it down to a science. So it seems that each time it takes to build these 3 trees gets shorter and shorter because they're well prepared. But it's a great revenue generator for our Queen Anne's County Watermen's Association. And so I just did a shout out on behalf of the Queen Anne's County Commissioners. We bought them their pizza lunch that day. So you all owe me $10.
You got it.
I had the opportunity because Commissioner Jim Moran was on assignment. I had an opportunity to step in on his behalf to address 8th grade students at Stevensville Middle School and Sellersville Middle School to talk about the Drug-Free Coalition and its efforts and to bring awareness to the dangers of fentanyl, opioid overdoses, and just let them know that this is ideal age where you're going to be graduating and you're going to be going to the high school levels and there's going to be some influences. And it's just as easy to say no as it is to say yes, and more important to say no, because a decision that they make that day could ultimately just change their life forever. So I think the message I truly believe the message resonated with the kids. And of course, we had our District Attorney Lance Richardson that was there. The sheriff was not able to make it on that day, but he did send a deputy who did an amazing job. She was brilliant. I think she had a good connection with the kids. And then I had an opportunity earlier late last week to speak to the Midshore Board of Realtors at their holiday luncheon, just to kind of bring up a state of the county on where we are in some of the projects that are in the queue. We talked a little bit about short-term rental legislation that we put in place to try to give it some teeth and have better controls. Talked a little bit about the projects tonight we heard about. And then just boasted about the, Queen Anne's County and how good our schools are. And so in trying to motivate buyers to come to Queen Anne's County and settle here, the great schools, the Cross Island trails, all the amenities that we have, the public access to water and beaches. So that was a lot of fun and got to see some of the realtors that we know that work here in our county. And that's all I have. Oh, everybody have a great Christmas. I know that my fellow commissioners are going to say the same thing, so I will extend that. Have a great Christmas to everybody, and just enjoy the holiday. And if you've got kids coming home for Christmas, make them do work.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Boom. Patrick?
We had a wonderful time at the Senior Center in Graysonville. I finally saw these guys work, so it was very exciting.
Well, not one guy.
Well,
Wow. I was working.
We all served and we all cleaned up, and it was just a fabulous time. And DJ Jackie Wilson.
DJ Jack Wilson?
Yeah.
I'm sure I was missed.
You were.
Sure, I was
Especially
missed.
for the cleanup part.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you guys for signing on to the letter for the Youth Crisis Center. It's just
another step.
It's just a slog. I'm hoping to run into President Kozel tomorrow or the next day and just get an update from our meeting at Chestertown a few weeks ago that we had, and just see if there's any progress there. Just a shout out to many of you know that Jack Wilson is going to be taking over the presidency of MACO in about 48 hours. And we are all very proud of him. And he's been getting a lot of accolades. He's learned how to just kind of slough it off, but it's coming. It's coming. So
he's worried.
We're
Don't
just
worry.
very proud of you, and we're very blessed. And I had an opportunity to go to the oyster restoration project at the Hyatt and just learned a tremendous amount. And I don't know what we can do, but at some point, maybe Commissioner can tell us what we should do. But it sure would be nice if we could come up with some type of plan to put more oysters in the bay for our watermen, for their economic stability, but also to clean the bay. So just a Merry Christmas, and Hanukkah is coming up. Happy Hanukkah to our friends, and thank you.
Wednesday night, 6 p.m., Kent Island High School. MDTA is going to be there with all their boards and all their renderings for what the new crossing at the Chesapeake Bay may look like. Might be 2 bridges. Sounds like it's going to be 2 bridges and 4 or 5 lanes per bridge. Come out tomorrow night. I'm going to be there the whole time. I don't know who else. I think Steve Cahoon might probably be there, and a couple other county staff to answer any questions and look over what they're trying to accomplish and see if we can get it moving a little quicker. And I'm going to pass on the happy holidays to everybody. And my 6th grandchild is hours away from being born as we speak. So,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Looking for that, and they're going to name him Gunner. Can you believe that?
Gunner.
Really?
Yeah, Gunner.
See, those are true baseball fans.
That's right.
Good for them.
Congratulations.
So we'll see. Ashley's son is Brooks. So we got a Gunner and a Brooks.
All
So
right.
We'll see. Anyways, happy holidays.
All right, happy holidays. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Favor?
And if not before it, we'll see you gentlemen.
Jim, is it Ashley or Kevin?
Ashley.